goes by, if the train goes by, we're going to pause. How are you? You well, sir? Great to see you.
Pleasure.
Great. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Assemblyman Robert Rodriguez. I represent this district here, East Harlem and Barrio, the 68th Assembly District. And I'm proud to be here with my choice for mayor, Ray McGuire. Now, what's important about where we are is that we are in the heart of East Harlem's business district. For those people who have a historic connection to East Harlem and Barrio, you are at La Marqueta. For those of you who know El Barrio, we are surrounded by public housing. We have Johnson and we have Taft. Down the street, we have our health center, the East Harlem Health Center. Right over there, you have a school, PS 57. And around the corner where we're going to be walking a little bit later is the heart of our business district, 116th Street. This is the microcosm of New York. This is the New York City right now that is damaged because of COVID. This community has seen a disproportionate impact because of health access issues, health disparity issues, and now because of economic despair as a result of shutdowns. The future is now. What we do in this moment will dictate what New York looks like for the next 30 years. It's important to me, somebody who's born and raised in East Harlem, somebody who shares some similar stories to Ray, that we are able to put somebody in office that is not politics as usual, that is not owing anybody no favors. I don't need to do this for you because of that. He has had a distinguished career in finance, knows that he can handle budgets of billions and hundreds of billions of dollars in size, but also understands the call to serve, also understands the connections to poverty, the connections to food insecurity, the connections to making sure there's a pathway forward for people like me, for people who believe that the only way out of East Harlem for me was getting an education, going to the public schools, doing well, graduating, going to Yale. Those are all blessings that I received because my community supported me. There were nonprofits all along the way to make sure I made it. That's the model that we need to have here now. And when Ray talks about crossing the train tracks to be able to get the education that he needed, to be able to help lift his family out of poverty, I can relate. What we're going to have to do now is create a foundation for the future, one that brings our small businesses back. Ray's plan, the comeback plan, makes the difference in terms of making sure that we can provide our small businesses with the relief that they need now. We got to pay back rent, utilities, and then make sure we have the foundation to start reopening. That's not going to happen by itself. We got to make smart choices. We've got to make sure that the investments that we make, thankfully that we've received from the federal government, go a long way. And finally, we've got to make sure that everybody is included, that there is equality in the investments that are made. We are at the center of a place where these investments have been unequal, where we have had to fight for 10 years to get the 2nd Avenue subway to come up to Harlem and come through East Harlem. We had to wait 10 years to get a commitment to fix up our Esplanade and our pier. We are still fighting for vaccinations. We still need resources in our community. The point that I know that we are at in terms of the history of the city of New York requires unique leadership, requires somebody who is able to take on that challenge, able to build with the community, but has roots, still humble enough and still rooted enough in our community to be able to set the path forward. I know Ray is that person. I'm proud to be here supporting him, and I look forward to going out there and campaigning on his behalf. a decir un poquito en español, porque si no pasa, no estamos diciendo que los latinos te están apoyando. Yo soy el asambleísta Roberto Rodríguez, estoy aquí, yo represento a este barrio, a el barrio. Oye, mamá, tú llegó.
Oye, mamá.
Ella es mamá del vecindario de Johnson. Ella viene de Johnson. Ella me ha cuidado de niño. Estoy diciendo que estamos en un tiempo único en que la ciudad y el futuro de esta ciudad necesita a alguien que no debe favor a ninguna persona, que no sea político como normales. Necesitamos a alguien con la experiencia, que él puede usar toda la inteligencia, el carrera en finanzas, para asegurar que los presupuestos de ahora y del futuro invierten en las comunidades latinas, invierten en comunidades como nosotros aquí en el barrio. Mira, aquí hemos luchado 10 años para tener un tren del segundo avenida para que se llegue al 125. Hemos luchado para asegurar que recibimos vacunas. Hemos luchado para asegurar que nuestras disparidades de salud se mejoran. Estamos aquí siempre en la lucha y para mis boricuas bregando. Porque nosotros ahora debemos inversiones. Necesitamos, lo merecemos y debemos recibirlos. Y yo sé, con la ayuda de Ray, que él va a asegurar que nuestras comunidades no sean olvidadas. Yo como niño crecí desde este barrio al puesto de asambleísta solo por el ayuda de organizaciones de sin de lucros. Si no fuera por ellos, no tuviera la educación para ir a una universidad como se llama de Yale y al final a representar a mi comunidad. Pero yo sé que no puede, esto no pasa, necesitamos liderazgo único que puede asegurar que inversiones pasan y que no olvidamos a la gente ni a los niños que necesitan. Y es bueno asonir esos trenes porque ya sabemos que gente viene y sale de la ciudad. Y eso es lo que necesitamos aquí. Al final, para concluir, estamos diciendo que el momento para asegurar que los pequeños negocios quedan vivos es ahora. Y necesitamos el plan que Rey está lanzando para asegurar que 50,000 negocios reciben la ayuda que necesitan para el alquiler y para la luz, para llegar al punto que pueden seguir adelante. Así estamos diciendo que hoy es el día que yo pueda declarar que estoy apoyando a Ray, porque yo veo que el futuro sea mejor cuando tenemos a alguien que no es política como normal, pero sabe cómo invertir el dinero necesario para que nosotros tengamos un futuro fuerte y regresamos al punto donde debe que estar en la ciudad de Nueva York. Gracias.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Thank you so much for your leadership. What we know is that much of what's happened here in East Harlem is as a result of the hard work and dedication and commitment that you have to the community where you were born and raised. That kind of leadership is the kind of leadership that this city needs. You represent this city, you represent this community in ways that reflect what we need in the future. And you have decided, as have I, that I'm sick and tired of waiting 10 years for the subway. I'm sick and tired of waiting too many years for the school system to work. I'm sick and tired of waiting too many years for the economy to include East Harlem. I'm sick and tired of waiting too long for the vaccine to get to East Harlem. How long will we wait? Not long. At some point, we're going to have to step up. Step up to make certain that the economy step up to make certain that the economy is inclusive. For too long, it has not been inclusive. My plan is to create 500,000 jobs, fix the infrastructure, Get the subway stations working for East Harlem. Fix the peeling paint. Fractured bridges and subways. Elevators on the subways. We have to fix that. My plan includes that. My plan includes helping out the small businesses. All too many of them are boarded up now with no help. Our help is on the way. My plan includes just that. If we think about where we need to be in the future, when we work together and have a vision that's an inclusive vision, the greatest, most inclusive comeback in the history of this city, means that La Maqueta will be where it needs to be. It's been here for 85 years. It will be here for 85 years going forward. We're not prepared to wait any longer for East Harlem to be included, and for all the citizens of East Harlem, and for the young ones like this one to make certain that they have the opportunity that you had. It shouldn't be by chance, it should be by design, that we take the schools and make certain that our students get exposed to the same kinds of things that other schools get their children exposed to. We want to make certain that they get summer jobs. We want to make certain that there's a community center. We want to make certain that we're included every step of the way in the economy. We want to make certain that we get included every step of the way in education. We want to make certain that we get included every step of the way in healthcare. And yes, we want to make certain that we prevent those who are in the criminal justice system not to go to the criminal justice system. Let's prevent it from the start to make sure that they have the opportunity. So I have a plan that says we will no longer wait. There's no longer time to wait, delay, and delay. We're in the middle of a crisis, and unless we step up today, that crisis is going to overtake us. I refuse to believe that East Harlem is going to be overtaken by that crisis. I refuse to believe that we're prepared to wait any longer. If there is a moment in time, if there has ever been a moment in time, then now is that moment where we all have to step up. Yeah. Yes. Step up. We're too tired right now. Too tired. So if there's a moment, it is our time today. It is our time for East Harlem on your shoulders to make certain that we stand up the way you stood up and extended the ladder, to make certain that we all have that opportunity to move forward. So I am here working in partnership with you. I so respect and appreciate, and I'm grateful for your endorsement and what we need. And what I will tell you, yo soy el alcalde para todo Nueva York.
Do you stand for Green New Deal for NYCHA?
I stand for reparation of NYCHA, and yes, let's make sure NYCHA works. Too long, 85 years of NYCHA, 130 days to fix an open ticket. Too long, we waited for too long. I'm not prepared to wait much longer.
We're not prepared for privatization.
I'm talking about making certain that it works right, to get your input on what's working right. I need to fix the elevator. I need to make certain that the heat works. I need to make sure we get them painted and that the open tickets get closed.
Lead, mold, pests, elevators, and heating that need to be remediated. But what about the capital improvements and private development and managers that are proposed by the Blueprint for Change?
We need to get you involved. I want you there with me explaining how the best way to go about doing that is.
Sure, sir.
I need you.
Do you have any questions? Yeah, I do. Also building supportive housing for the next video.
Yes, ma'am. We have to build truly affordable housing, deeply affordable housing. We need to make certain that we get the services for the mentally ill. What COVID has done, it has made more difficult the situation, emotionally more difficult. So yes, we not only need housing for the mentally ill, we need to make sure we get services for the mentally ill. We all need help every now and then.
After
And so
COVID, we all feeling
understand
mental.
that. Every now and then, during COVID, I understand.
Because they're being sent to prison, so they need treatment, not prison.
We don't need prison. We need treat. We need to prevent this.
Yeah.
We need to give opportunity. We need to give jobs. We need to give training. And for those people who've been left behind, we need to bring them along. My plan does just that. I don't want any of our citizens left behind, not one. We fail if we let one behind, and if we don't prevent it, especially now given what's taking place with the mental health situation in COVID. So we got to address that.
I was wrapped. Okay, we're gonna start the box. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We're going to walk in the market.